in the studio right now, I have Anastasio. We're going to be talking about home health. We're going to be talking about falls. And she's a home health manager. And so tell us a little.
One thing that we found, there's a lot of statistics out there regarding falls in the elderly population, and it's the statistics that I found from the CDC is that 1 in 4 Americans over the age of 65 fall. So that's 25% of the population over 65. And as we get older, we're not in the best shape as we have been, and we're more prone to falls. And when we're more prone to falls, we're more prone to injuries. So the important thing is to try to prevent these falls. But a couple of statistics before I get into that is about every 11 seconds, an elder American falls, either with or without injury. And we also have over 800,000 hospitalizations and more than 27,000 deaths, all related to falls. And the reason why I'm saying that is that if you fall and you fracture a hip, now you're bedbound in the hospital, you're debilitated, you're on a lot of medications, you have a higher risk for a blood clot. So you may not die from the injury related to the fall, excuse me, but you can die from related.
Like complications
correct,
following
complications
after.
From that, correct.
So.
And they estimate that the amount of money that will be spent on falls and injuries related to falls in 2020 will be close to $67 billion. So that is a tremendous amount of money. So the best thing to do is to try to prevent the falls.
Right.
And falls, a lot of people think, well, as I'm getting older, I'm going to fall. That's part of life. No, it really isn't. We also are under the misconception as I get older, I've worked really hard my whole life. It's my time to relax and take it easy so I can sit down and not do any exercise or any movements. That is wrong. It is more important to keep yourself moving as much as you can.
Now, is that the primary reason for falls?
One of them, it does lead into it that the more sedentary we become, we start to lose our muscle mass. You lose muscle mass as you get older anyhow. So what you were able to bench press, say, in your 20s, you're not going to be able to do that in your 50s, 60s, or 70s. But it doesn't mean you should stop that activity. You want to keep your muscles as flexible and as fluid as possible. So the more muscle strength you have, the less chance that you're going to fall because you have better control of your body, better balance, and it will hold, particularly like hips or knees, because we all have arthritis as we get older. And if you have stronger muscles, it helps to support your knees and your hips to then lessen the chance of falls.
Okay.
So exercise is something that is really recommended, even if it's doing chair exercises in your apartment of just lifting your legs, pointing, flexing, doing ankle exercises, pointing and flexing your toes, anything that's getting those muscles to move. And twisting around your waist, arm exercises to really build up the upper body strength, that is going to help. So just sitting in a chair all day is not going to help you, and it's going to make you more prone to falls.
Now, are things like, just as you age, your vision and hearing, how do those affect your equilibrium in the...
Your vision, good questions, because with your equilibrium, which is involved in your hearing center, some people will have vertigo or other issues with that may affect their balance. And that's something that a physician can help out with. Sometimes it can't be cured, but at least some safety measures can be put into place to help you lessen the chance of falls. The same with the vision is everyone should have an eye exam every year to see if there's, as your aging eyes, you're more prone to glaucoma, you're more prone to maybe some macular degeneration or other issues that your vision is not as clear. So your eyes should be checked to make sure you have the most appropriate contacts or eyeglasses that you need. And then along with that, during the safety of lighting, is your apartment well lit? Are there night lights in your bathroom and in your hallways? Or do you have maybe rails in your apartment that can help you to walk safely through the apartment?
And with that, like the devices, what sort of devices can you use? Like canes and rollers, but what's the safe bet with those?
Equipment is really individualized to the person's need, and I think some people are afraid of using a cane or a walker because they feel they're going to become dependent on it. And you're not going to be dependent on it. If anything, it's more of a safety to, in case if you do get a little wobbly, you have that extra leg in a sense to hold you up, to keep you going. So it should not be viewed as a deterrent to, that's probably not the right word, as
preventative?
Preventative, yeah. So, but you want to use that to help you get along, but also learning how to use the equipment properly. So physical therapy can help you to know the right size cane, because there are different size canes, different size heights. We have people who are very short to very tall, and you want the cane to be the proper height. Same with rollators and walkers. They should all be sized to the person and taught properly. And that can be done through physical therapy. So for a lot of folks who may have fallen, have injured themselves, they're going to be homebound. If they're homebound, they're going to be appropriate for certified home health. And we're covered by Medicare, so there's no cost to the resident whatsoever, as long as there's a skilled need and they're homebound. And we can have our physical therapists and our occupational therapists come out to look at the apartment, go over safety issues, look at fall risks in the home, like loose rugs that you might trip over, give you exercises, give you a lot of safety points. And then eventually, hopefully get you to maybe outpatient rehab where you can do a little bit more. And then the key to all of this is once you've learned the exercise, it's not one and done. You need to continue this every day for the rest of your life.
So it's not like getting just a physical therapy where you're going for 6 weeks and then you're done.
Correct.
You will continue this on your own. Now, would you be able to bring home health back, or
Yes.
would that I guess get back to like home support or something?
Our goal is in certified home health is to get people as mobile and able to take care of themselves as well as they can. And once we get to that point, because we're not a long-term care,
Right.
Medicare has very certain rules of why we can stay in. Our goals then are to get them to give them the education that they need to take care of themselves. The other option after home health is there's outpatient rehab. They can go to our rehab facilities here, and they have amazing equipment, amazing staff to take care of that. Home support, and I know there's always a little confusion between certified home health and home support. Home support is basically private duty. They can pay to have aides come up and help them with their personal care, with either bathing or dressing or helping them get a meal or companion service. They can be anywhere from 2 hours to 24 hours. Where certified home health is intermittent care. And we can provide nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and we have our own home health aides also.
And then after that, they would look towards another outpatient form of
That's the goal.
exercise, or join fitness classes, I guess, if they're up and able.
I push fitness classes anytime, and I know we're going into transition with the fitness center is going to be moved, and they're going to do all this amazing renovation. I understand they're putting in an Olympic-sized pool, which is very exciting. So water aerobics class is a fantastic class for a lot of the residents to take, and I'm hoping they will offer a lot of that with the fitness center. Apartment safety was the other thing that I want to talk about is use of extra equipment. That this is where occupational therapists can help out a lot with putting in safety devices in the bathrooms. For example, a shower chair or grab rails or a raised toilet seat. Because sometimes, particularly if you're taller, it's very difficult to safely on and off the toilet. It's also difficult to get safely in and out of a shower. And if you have the grab rails and maybe a movable shower head and seats, it makes it easier for them. Our goal is to make the residents as independent as possible.
Right.
Without falls.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you talk about, I guess, things in the home, and you're talking about carpeting before, are there structural changes that you will make to something like that, or is it just that you would advise to remove elements that would be, I guess, fall hazards?
Each resident's apartment is their apartment, and we are guests in their apartment. We can make suggestions, and we can give reasons why we're suggesting it. For example, if there's a lot of throw rugs on the ground and they shuffle and not picking up their feet, there's a chance either the rollator or the walker or the foot might catch on the edge of the carpet and they're going to fall. So our recommendation is to remove those hazards, to take, if there's a lot of items on the floor, to make sure that they're not there, make sure there's a clear pathway to get to where they're going. And then extra lighting in the hallways, so you can plug in night lights that go on with light and dark is always recommended too.
And then are there any other general things that they need to be concerned about? I think about things like a medicine. Like, do you talk to them? Do you work with like medical interactions between medicines and that sort of thing?
Yes, the nursing in particular will go over a lot of the medications, because a lot of residents are, I shouldn't say a lot, but a number of residents are on a fair amount of medications. And it's important to know what the medications are, how to take them, why to take them, and the side effects from them. Some of the medications, for example, high blood pressure medication, can lower your blood pressure significantly, which might make you a little more wobbly and you might have a chance of falling. So understanding how to take your blood pressure, how to take your vital signs, your pulse and your blood pressure, can help you to prevent any issues. If they've seen that their blood pressure is coming down because of the medications they're on, that's a phone call to the physician saying, can we review this medication? Maybe I don't need to be on this, or maybe I need to be on a lower dose, or this one is just not working out. There's also some medications that can cause dizziness and lightheadedness, narcotics, which we've all heard a lot about the opioid crisis. Even if it's not an opioid, any kind of narcotic is going to change your ability to safely ambulate. And we want to make sure we can lessen that and put in a lot of safety factors there. The other thing are maybe some water pills if they have congestive heart failure and they need to be on a medication called Lasix, which helps to get rid of extra water. Again, that can lower your blood pressure and make you feel very weak and dizzy.
Okay, yeah.
And we encourage a lot of the communication between the physicians, everyone who's involved in this resident's care, whether it's one of the physicians here in the medical center or their own physician outside of the facility too.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add about?
If there's any questions, the main thing is please give us a call. We're always happy to talk to people about what certified home health is. Our telephone number is 703-923-3123. And you can give us a call to let us know if you think you might need home health, home support. We're happy to answer the questions.
And you talked before about it's a matter of whether or not they are homebound, because it's a Medicare program. Now, what is the definition of that in the terms of Green Spring being a larger facility?
It's difficult to answer that question because it really is individualized on everyone. If a resident has their own car and they're going out in their car driving themselves, that is not a homebound person. If they are constantly not in their apartment because they're going out to social events, they're probably not homebound. If you are allowed to go for your hair appointments, for a religious service, obviously to go to dining here. You can, what was the other thing I was going to, outside appointments if they're seeing their physicians and they are getting a ride to do that. We have to look at each person individually. And we're looking at the safety. Even though they're getting out, are they safely doing it? Do they have a higher risk of falls once they leave the apartment to get to where they need to go? That alone can make them homebound. So we're looking at the safety of the resident.
Okay, and so that's definitely a time when they should call you.
Yes,
all right,
absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for coming on today and
Thank
talking
you.
about home health. And if anyone needs, help, then give them a call.